Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to another episode.
Alaikum assalam and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to everyone.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about a hadith Qudsi that I came across and I thought it was a very important one and we really need to talk about it. But before we get started, let's talk about what is a hadith Qudsi. So, what is a hadith?
A hadith is something that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said or did.
Okay, yeah, that is called a hadith Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hadith is something that we are quoting from someone from what someone has said, and we're just quoting it. Okay, and it's got to do with respect. So somebody that is honorable for us, respect worthy for us, and we're quoting what they said or did. We would call it hadith. Okay, so hadith part is done. Hadith Qudsi is when we are quoting something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said or told Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say to us. Okay, so to pass down to us. It is in addition to the Quranic verses. Okay, so Maria, what do you want to say? Say Assalamu alaikum. Okay, you can sit down. Do you want to sit down, please? Yes, sit down, please. Give her some space. Okay, all right. So one of the hadith Qudsi that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was told about directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, according to that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once called Prophet Angel Jibril alayhi salam, and he ordered him to destroy a certain nation. Okay, what is a nation? A group of people who lived in a piece of land in an area. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called Angel Jibril alayhi salam and ordered him to destroy that nation and to kill all the people in there. But the angel Jibril alayhi salam, he got worried and he said, Allah, but there is a so and so person who lives there in that piece of land, and he is a very pious person. Okay, you can talk. Okay, Maria, can you please sit properly? Mamas, can you please give her space because she's blocking you? Maria, please move back, please. Sorry about the break. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when ordered Angel Jibril alayhi salam to destroy the nation, he reminded Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or kind of he attempted to remind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Allah, but in that piece of land, in that nation, there's this person who is he's so pious, he's always worshipping you, he's never done a single sin, and he lives among those people that you've asked me to destroy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, well, if that's the case, actually, of course, Allah ta'ala knew, but he said, okay, for that reason, actually, when you start the destruction, start from that very person. Because he kept on doing the right thing. He saw that people who he lived with in the piece of land are not doing the right thing, but he didn't care about them. All he cared about was fixing his ways. He was the only one who was worshipping and doing the right things, keeping himself away from sins, but he didn't think about the people that he was living with. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Angel Jibril alayhi salam to start the destruction from that person only. So think about it, all his worships, all his good deeds, and all his avoidance of sins went down the drain, got completely discarded. Even though he probably spent his whole life doing them, just for this one reason. What does this tell you? Doesn't this scare you? So what is the one lesson that you learned from this Hadith Qudsi? I'll tell you another hadith. This is a hadith for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, this is also an order given to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all the Muslims in the Quran, which is called Ammar bil Ma'ruf wa Nahi Anil Munkar, which means Ammar bil Ma'ruf. Ma'ruf is something which is approved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ammar is like any deeds that you do. So deeds that are approved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you order them. Ammar, basically also when you like kind of encourage people to do good deeds, and wanahi anil munkar, when you stop people or forbid people from doing wrong deeds. So when you see somebody who you're living with is doing a wrong thing and you don't stop them, that is also upon you as a believer, that you did not care about people, your fellow humans. And obviously, as we say, charity begins at home. If you see your own siblings, your own somebody in your own family not doing the right thing, or when you are going to do a good deed, like you're going for prayers, for instance, and you're just going yourself and you're not inviting your brothers or your parents, you see your parents are probably, because parents are after all humans, what if they're not doing if they're not getting up for prayers, but you are going? Or you see more to do with our daily life things, that for example, it's a very common example that your parents, there's this one parents, they said to their kids that, kids, we don't lie, we don't, it's not a good thing, and this and that, and then somebody came to their house and rang the bell, or they called in, and the dad wanted to avoid that person, so he said, oh, go and tell them that Baba is not at home. And then he said, but Baba, you told me not to lie, this is also a lie. And then Baba said, well, yeah, but this case is separate, or it's an exception. So your sometimes even parents can do these things, but this, it's your job in a respectful manner, even to your parents, if it's a requirement, you should tell them when you see if they are also doing the wrong thing. But before everything else, the most important thing is that you yourself do the right thing. As much as you know Islam, as much as you understand Islam and the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at least you should make an attempt, and sincere and honest attempt, to first do the right thing and stay away from bad things. You just make an intention. You just realize that, oh, I've been doing this one thing which is not right, and I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like it. So, okay, I'm making an intention that I'm going to at least start to avoid doing it. Every single time I remember that I do this wrong, I'm going to not do it. I'm going to make a sincere effort that I'm not going to do it. And the same thing for whenever it is prayer time, whenever I hear adhan, I'm just going to right away stand up and go for prayers and make wudu and all that stuff. You can do that. Start that from yourself, but also encourage people who live with you. Then just keep extending your circle. So you start at home, you start with your own siblings, with your own family, but then keep extending the circle. Because if you are doing the right thing, but people who you live with, who you are friends with, who you do anything with, your cousins, your friends, your classmates, your neighborhood, anyone that you work with, or one way or another you're connected to, if you're not extending the knowledge of Islam to them, then you are being a selfish person. And God forbid, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides to punish, He might start with you. God forbid if that ever happens to you. But this can become a reason for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wrath befalling us. So it's an extremely important thing. It's an extremely, well, honestly, I listened to 3 different scholars, and all 3 of them, from what I remember, they called it a very scary hadith qudsi, for the very reason that imagine a person, he or she spent his whole life doing only the right thing. And in the end, they find out that they are the ones who could not even avoid the wrath of Allah, and not just avoid the wrath of Allah, the wrath of Allah started from them. That is a bigger thing. That's a much important thing that you need to really think about. And let me just tell you, we living in a non-Muslim society, this becomes even a bigger responsibility, that when you are a Muslim and you are not extending the teachings of Islam, the understanding of Islam, this huge blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with right from the day you were born, Islam. If you don't extend that to people that you are friends with, but not like, okay, hello, my friend, please become a Muslim, not like that. But the best thing that you can do is you attract them by your good deeds, by your understanding of your deen. That becomes your huge responsibility, to not be selfish. Do not keep the blessings of Allah to yourselves only. extend them, share them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in them. So I think today's video, my part is over. So, and that's the one reason I would say why I wanted to make these videos, that whenever I am sharing any information with my own kids, I could maybe get an opportunity and share it with any other children who can benefit from it, or maybe, sometimes even an older person can benefit from it. It's not restricted to only children, but obviously children can benefit from it. So anything that you take away from this today's video? Assalamu alaikum. Are you back? Okay. Do you want to say something? Say assalamu alaikum.
No.
Okay. Mawal, would you like to say something?
Thank you all for watching.
No. Your comments on the video, like the Hadith Qudsi.
No, I didn't say.
Anyone? Mawal? Hamza?
No.
No. All right, then we can probably wrap up our video here, and we will see everyone in the next video.
No song.
No, we don't sing songs. We say Asmaul Husna.
No, I the blue lala.
Okay, say Blue Allah. Walillahil Asmaul Husna. Fad'uuhu biha.
You.
Okay, can you start? As'aluka ya man huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha.
I didn't say the one song.
Okay. I don't think she's going to sing the song, so we'll wrap up the video here. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.